ये रुमना मैडम, हम आपको होस्ट बना दे रहे हैं।
ठीक है ठीक है।
इक्वाई झारखंड से आप ज्वाइन किए हैं ना? ठीक। अभी हम आपको होस्ट बना दिए मैडम।
ठीक है।
और आप एडमिट वगैरह कर लीजिएगा, लाइव भी कर दिया हूं मैंने। ठीक है मैडम। आप अपने लैपटॉप से बस डिस्कनेक्ट मत होइएगा, क्योंकि आप ही होस्ट हैं। रुमना मैडम,
हाँ सर।
आप अपने लैपटॉप से डिस्कनेक्ट मत होइएगा, क्योंकि आप ही होस्ट हैं।
ठीक है सर। ओके। यस मैडम। यस मैडम। यस मैडम। गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन। गुड आफ्टरनून। यस मैम। वाइब्रेशन।
मैम गुड आफ्टरनून। हाँ मैम, वॉइस इको हो रहा है।
मैडम, आप अपना लैपटॉप का म्यूट कीजिए स्पीकर। रुमना मैडम, आप अपना लैपटॉप के स्पीकर को म्यूट कीजिए, स्पीकर को। जहाँ से वॉल्यूम होता है, डेट टाइम के
ठीक है।
बगल में वॉल्यूम का सिंबल होगा, उसको म्यूट कीजिए। जहाँ डेट और टाइम है वहां पर वॉल्यूम वॉल्यूम को म्यूट कीजिए मैडम। हाँ, माइक को भी म्यूट कीजिए, वॉल्यूम को भी। और
ठीक है
मैडम
सर।
इसको, हाँ, और मैडम स्कॉलर को बोलिए जहाँ पर माइक लगा हुआ है वहां पर बैठने के लिए, सामने में, कैमरा के सामने मैडम। मनीष सर, गुड आफ्टरनून।
सर गुड आफ्टरनून। कैसे हैं?
चल रहा है सर, घर पर है।
अच्छा अच्छा।
रुना मैडम, लैपटॉप को उधर रख दीजिए ना, सामने, हाँ वहां पर, हाँ। अब वहां से बोलेंगे। हाँ, वहां से बोलने बोलिए, हाँ। रुना मैडम, एक बार ऑडियो चेक कर लीजिए। स्कॉलर स्कॉलर का माइक से चेक कर लीजिए रुमना मैडम।
Sir, Manish sir, good afternoon.
हाँ, वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून।
Sir, good afternoon.
हाँ, गुड आफ्टरनून मैम, गुड आफ्टरनून।
Sir, good afternoon.
हाँ, गुड आफ्टरनून मैम, कैसी हैं?
Exam.
अभी शायद एक्सटर्नल ज्वाइन किए थे, लगता है अभी हट गए हैं।
मैम 1 घंटे का है। Yes. Ma'am, namaste. I'm very sorry. I just forgot. So I hope I'm now audible and visible. Okay. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very sorry for the delay. My apologies.
Yes, with your permission, Dr. Anmol and Dr. Karima, Sapna will start the presentation. Sapna will start the presentation.
Dr. Ankur, you need to unmute yourself. You were saying something.
No, I'm ready to hear the
Yes.
presentation. Yes.
Good.
I'm sorry for the delay. That's what I was saying. My apologies to all of you. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Start. Yes, PPT is visible.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Welcome both of you. And Sapna will start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, Manish, sir. Good afternoon to all the members who are present here. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present my final thesis. This entire thesis was a journey where I was trying to explore how consumer behavior is getting affected by brand equity and FMCG marketing techniques. This entire study is focused only on the personal care products. My research supervisor, Dr. Manish Kumar, sir. A little introduction about myself, sir. I work as an academic head with Physics Wala. Currently, I am posted in Bangalore and I take care of the School of Management, which is in the Institute of Innovation. This is a unit of Physics Wala. I am a research scholar with ICFI, almost having 16 years of experience with both industry and academia. Prior to Physics Wala, I had worked as program head with Jain Online. I was also with ISDC, where I have learned in detail about the professional education, and with iNurture. Have also got the opportunity to work with online businesses like Upgrad, Talent Edge. So I have got the opportunity to teach 19 prestigious free schools in and around India. I have also authored 2 books, which are the official textbooks of Bangalore University. With great pleasure, I would also like to share my achievement with CII, where I had written a case study on how do we include transgenders in the workforce, which had received the Best Case Study Award in the year 2017. My area of teaching is economics and strategy. I'm also a CA trainer and I am a certified strategic management professional from IIM Kozhikode. So this is my profile. I will directly go to the topic. So my motivation of research for this particular area when I started way back in 2016 was that I'm always motivated by the world of branding. How we stand in a retail outlet, or how do we go to a shop and we have hundreds of products there, and how as a consumer we pick up only a certain category. So this world of branding had always catched my fascination. Specifically, why FMCG sector? Because if we will see today, FMCG sector is the largest contributor to India's GDP, almost 10%. And under that, if we will see, the personal care segment is growing immensely. As per the recent statistics, it would grow up to $2,000 billion by 2025. One more reason of this specific topic was the evidence-based strategies, because I believe that marketers today, in this ever-changing landscape of marketing, ever-changing landscape of branding, everybody is looking for evidence. And I hope that this humble attempt can help for those evidence-based strategies. For a simple example, Patanjali started itself as a natural and herbal product, and we have seen that their Dant Kanti and Kesh Kanti have been on this trajectory only. The background of the study here, so I wanted to understand how consumer behavior is affected and how consumer behavior is affected by two main parameters here. A is FMCG marketing techniques, which all of us encounter in our daily life, and the brand equity. Now, in simplest understanding, what I have learned during my research is that a brand equity is like a bank account for a brand. Why do I say it's like a bank account? Because the number of positive interactions that a brand or an organization has with consumer, their value increases. So this entire study of brand equity, this entire universe of brand equity is very, very fascinating. So the background is we wanted to understand how consumer behavior is affected by these two important parameters. Specifically in the FMCG component where we are focusing on the personal care category only. The relevance of this topic is to understand and just 1 second, sir. Ma'am, the slide is not changing. The relevance of my topic, I wanted to understand how these two orthogonal, I had received from one of the evaluator, both these components are orthogonal in nature, where brand equity and FMCG marketing techniques, how these two distinct components simultaneously affect the consumer behavior. So basically, this entire research is how brands are built over a time, how they manage, how they are creating an entire image of the brand in the minds of the consumer. And how does this affects the overall consumer behavior? This was my literature review summary where I had seen the articles related to brand equity. Now, there are three important parameters in my study: brand equity, consumer behavior, and the FMCG marketing techniques. Plus, I had also referred to some papers from the FMCG sector, the methodology part. These were some of the important literature that I had seen. I was not able to put everything here, but just the important ones. Now, why these important ones? Because it gives a plethora of how different studies are being done in brand equity. Studies related to different variety of product. It can be personal care, it can be durable. Studies related to specific aspects of brand equity. There are papers where there is only either one component is being emphasized, or there are certain papers where only specific categories of FMCG marketing techniques have been categorized, or few of them have been done in a different context altogether. So these are some of the literature reviews that we have referred to. I will directly come to the research gaps. Now, after seeing the literature review, now I understand, ma'am, sir, that this is a very generic and a very commonly taken marketing topic, where there had been a number of studies done in the area of brand equity. But this is my humble and a simple attempt to understand how a personal care product, which all of us buy every day, how does the branding of a personal care product affects the consumer behavior. So in the papers that I had referred to, I had seen that on the personal care products, the research is limited. there had been only majorly research on the holiday destination. There had been on durable products. On personal care, this research is little less. Looking at the growth of personal care market in India today, I feel that this is an domain which needs to be studied further. And I completely agree that with changing dynamics and changing times, I know that even my study, it has to be immediately replaced by what's happening in the market now. So now today, when I started this 2016 way back, we did not have so much influence of AI. But today, I'm sure the brand equity would have a lot of impact of the personalized AI experience as well. So this was the first gap. Second important gap is that in terms of the combination that is there between the short term and the long term strategy. Now, what do I call short term? The short term is the FMCG marketing techniques, where a consumer goes to a retail outlet, he sees a particular product on, say, maybe a discount, and it immediately tickles in the mind of the consumer that, okay, let me purchase it, it's on a good offer price. So there is a short term part and a brand equity, which is a long-term strategy for a particular brand. So this gap is existing there. And finally, what is the role of brand equity specifically in the segment, in the era where we are seeing change almost every day? The only thing which is constant in marketing today is change. We see how brands are, I would definitely like to give this example where when we had grown up, seen Lifebuoy as one of the major player, and we always remembered it with that jingle where Lifebuoy is associated with a healthy version. But today the researchers are questioning on how much it is actually different from the other soaps. There is a very thin line of difference between misleading ad and the way a brand is trying to promote themselves. So here the role of brand equity, the role of trust, the role of loyalty, the role of perception is very, very important. Continuing, these are my objectives. I had 4 objectives in my mind. First, I wanted to understand whether demography is playing an important role, specifically demography for personal care products. Second, I wanted to list down the factors which are affecting these 3 categories, which is FMCG, marketing techniques, consumer behavior, and brand equity. Third, I wanted to propose a model which shows the interaction of these 3 parameters. And finally, wanted to understand the mediating role of brand equity here. Sir, ma'am, we can agree here that there are local brands also available which do not have that great branding name in the market, or they have not yet gone on the path of equity. Equity is a very, very long process. So how does a local brand is able to impact the consumer behavior vis-a-vis if I am talking about a brand which is there in the market for long? So these were my objectives. I had done the data collection by the method of questionnaire, approached around 1,200 participants, and the number of valid responses that I had received was 996. Before finalizing my questionnaire, I have also done a pilot study where I had circulated my questionnaire to 100 respondents and I had seen their response.
I'm very sorry to Sapna. I'm very sorry to interject in between. I do not know what the process is, but no, we have gone through the thesis. So if you can focus on the specific aspects like the model and the hypothesis and the research questions and the key findings, followed up by specific questions from our side, I think that would be better if others also agree to the same.
Great, ma'am. Great. Great.
Sure, I agree.
Okay. So, Sapna ji, straight away come to your point.
Yes, sir. So, ma'am, this is my first set of hypothesis where I wanted to see how demographic factors are affecting the consumer behavior. Now, a list of demographic factors like age, income, education, all these were taken. Now, I would come to the main part, ma'am. Here, I have seen that uh, in my previous studies, we had seen that income and gender affect a lot of brands marketing. But here in my study, one very distinct point that I had seen was that age is a very important factor. Age has contributed maximum in terms of the effect that we can see. This was the first analysis. Second important analysis that I had seen here was, this was the total hypothesis that had been created for the demographic related factors. So here we had seen that there is a significant difference of age shown on the brand equity parameters. These were the mean and the standard deviation. In the second parameter, where I wanted to make the factors that affect the three main criteria, I had done the factor analysis. The findings were as per the fit statistic model. So this was a factor analysis done for all the three parameters. I had seen that the factors can be now taken into the confirmatory factor analysis. So this was a confirmatory factor analysis for my brand equity part. There were 5 factors that we had come down to: brand attitude, brand loyalty, brand knowledge, brand awareness, and brand association. Similarly, for consumer behavior, the 4 factors were value for money, purchase decision, the satisfaction of usage, and whether a particular product is appealing to use the consumer. Finally, I had also done it for FMCG market, and we had seen 5 strategies, which is the sales promotion, word of mouth, the events, direct marketing, advertising, how they were the main important parameters. I'll directly come to my third objective where I wanted to propose a model. We had seen that in terms of fit statistics, the model is a good fit here. And we had seen that these were the factor loadings for FMCG market, brand equity, and consumer behavior. Finally, the results were also taken care here. Now I come to the last and the most important part where I wanted to see what is the impact of brand equity as a mediating factor. And we had seen that if FMCG market is directly affecting the consumer behavior, it is 0.047, but when it goes via the component of brand equity, it is 0.147, where we can see a great impact of brand equity. Why this study is significant? This study is very, very significant for academic institutions where they can focus on personal care category, because not only it is growing, a huge number of India's population, approximately 10 million people, are being employed here. And the importance for researchers is that it shows a relationship between 2 distinct orthogonal factors here. So this is the significance. The scope is that I also want to see how other categories of FMCG products react, whether the equation remains the same for durable products also, and when we also include other marketing elements, because in my scope, I had not included the digital marketing. So what is the impact of digital marketing can also be a very important area that can be included here. These were some of my publications related to the thesis. And yeah, so I would first be ready for the questions, ma'am. So.
Am I supposed to go, or is there an order, or, sir here would like to ask first? I'm not sure.
Ma'am, you can go ahead, please. Yeah.
Okay. Sapna, many congratulations, but unfortunately, I find a lot of gaps, and that is something which I stated in my report also. To begin with, I do not see any, logic of, whatever you have done. The constructs have been chosen very ambiguously. They have neither been explained nor have been measured the way they should have been measured. For example, you say consumer behavior. I'm at a loss to understand what exactly you mean by consumer behavior. There are books on consumer behavior. Which exact construct and which exact outcome of consumer behavior you are looking at, I do not know. You use FMCG marketing. I am again clueless to understand as to what you mean by FMCG marketing and how one can measure FMCG marketing. How you have come up with this, interesting mediation between FMCG marketing and consumer behavior, where brand equity is, playing a indirect role. I thought that I would get some insights from your presentation, but I don't see. For me, the confusion remains the same. You are synonymously using the terms brand building, brand equity, brand loyalty, but as a faculty in the area of marketing, I know for sure that these are the terms which cannot be used interchangeably. I also do not see any research gap. From the beginning, it puts a big question mark as to why you have done a study like this. Just choosing a segment like the personal care product does not justify the research gap. The entire marketing literature is full with the understanding how the low involving and high involving products differ in terms of their consumer behavior. So I've mentioned it in my report that I also do not see any any contribution emerging from your study. I do not see any focus on the sampling technique. I do not see any research gap. I do not see any specific conclusion that you may draw. So unfortunately for me, it leaves many gaps which still remain unanswered. My suggestion to you would be that this is a highest, academic degree. So now after getting this degree, please, look into these questions which have been raised and try to answer to the same in a more structured form in whatever research you may undertake in future. Thank you.
So much for the suggestions, ma'am. I think this was my, I would definitely take the areas that you have said, and I would go in each one of them in detail, ma'am. In my further research papers, I will take it up as a challenge and definitely improve the needful, ma'am.
So, Professor Gupta, do you have more questions, or may I ask?
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, sure. So, Ms. Sapna, I mean, I have similar opinions as Professor Gupta, but I will ask you a few more specific questions. So what is your understanding of a theoretical contribution? When do we say that a theoretical contribution has been made by a particular piece of research?
Sir, my understanding of theoretical contribution is when a particular study is giving me a little extra information about maybe a particular area, a particular category, or a concept.
Okay. some extra information about a concept or a area, right? Area of research. So with that definition, what is the theoretical contribution of your work, of your thesis? What is the extra knowledge or extra information that has been generated?
Sir, I was just trying to understand the Bangalore market. I just wanted to see how Bangalore market is reacting to
Sorry,
the
which market?
effort.
Sorry, I missed which market?
Bangalore, region of Bangalore. So city of
Bangalore.
But that is nowhere in your presentation. Bangalore is now, you're mentioning it for the first time, I think, right?
Stay in Bangalore, and I have collected data from in and around Bangalore.
Okay, go on with your answer.
So basically, sir, what I wanted to see is how a metro city like Bangalore works in these concepts. And as Sir Ma'am has suggested, and even when I was reading the comments, the first thing that I really want to do after this is I want to take the similar study and do it in a different area altogether, sir. Where so generalization is too far, I understand that. But then at least I would like to compare how different markets operate. So this was just in one single region, but definitely, sir, I feel that more can be contributed when we will also try and compare.
Right, that is for the future, but for what you have done already, right, in your thesis, I'm going back to the question and the answer, right? The theoretical contribution in your understanding is some new information that is created around an area of study or a concept. So for your thesis, what is that new information that is around any of the constructs or the topic that you have chosen? What exactly is the new information?
Sir, I won't say it's new, but yes, the new part is that age is very, very important in terms of personal care product. Age of a consumer plays a very important role. There have been a lot of studies where the conclusion were that income and gender are important. But sir, my study also reveals that age is an important parameter. And by focusing on age, by focusing on what had been the purchase history of the consumer, the marketeers can come up with specific categories, specific techniques.
But is that your focus, right? Your focus is around three constructs: FMCG, marketing, brand equity, consumer behavior. How does age come in the research question?
In specific reference to the consumer behavior of a person. So the age affects the consumer behavior of a person. In terms of brand equity, if there is a older person, a person who has a higher age would trust on a brand which is having more higher brand equity as compared to a little younger audience. So sir, what I believe that age as a specific parameter of consumer behavior has come up.
Yes, but what is the new information there? It is already known that demographics, which includes age, education, gender, class, income, etc., do influence consumer behavior, right? I mean, if I am on the higher side of the age, I will not buy certain brands, but if I'm on the younger side of the age, I will be attracted to certain brands. So yeah, I mean, even in personal care, the brand preference changes with age, income. So when largely it is demographics affecting consumer choice. That is well known and well obvious. So again, what is the new knowledge? What is the new information that you think is there in your thesis?
Sir, I think in terms of newness, this was my exploration in terms of a metro market. I think I will have to do more research papers in understanding how I can contribute new to this particular area.
Okay, okay, sure. Second question is, what do you think, what do you understand as the difference between mediator and moderator?
So mediator is which affects the relation. Sir, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused here.
Sure, take your time. I mean,
I'm a little nervous. So
take a few moments, maybe take a moment to reflect and then you can respond. It's okay, we can wait. I mean, gather your thoughts, be calm and don't be stressful, but gather your thoughts, take a moment, think, and then you can respond.
In the meantime, Sapna, do you have your model in place? Does any of the PPT slides have your model? You have been talking about your model. Is the model there? Can you zoom it a bit? So what kind of questions have you really, asked the respondents to know about their consumer behavior? Suppose you approach me and I am one of the respondents and you want me to know my consumer behavior for personal care products. What are you trying to gauge?
And the kind of questions I had asked is on what parameters do they decide in terms of, say, FMCG marketing techniques. I'll give you a simple example, whether they are more influenced by sales promotion or they are more influenced when a direct marketing effort is being made. Similarly, in terms of brand equity, when they know a particular product or when they have a detailed brand knowledge, let's say, what is the ingredient? So those kind of simple questions were asked.
And what was the scale that you used?
Ma'am, 5 scale.
What kind of scale it was?
Ma'am, Likert scale.
Okay. Yes, you can, think and you can answer Sir's question.
Sir, I would like to pass it on. I am so sorry, I'm not able to. But mediating effect is, sir, where there is a certain relationship that is there between the variables. But a mediator, in my scenario, the brand equity mediator, which will affect the relationship, which will affect the overall.
Sapna, it would be better if you maintain your past thing rather than goofing it up more, because it's okay. We do not know everything, so it's okay that you don't know it. No problem.
Sir,
Sure, I understand. You mentioned brand equity to be the mediator between FMCG marketing and consumer behavior. My question in the assessment was, how are they orthogonal, right? So, I mean, I assume you have received that question and you have worked upon it. So first, you can tell me what do we mean when we say that the two constructs are orthogonal? That's the first question. And second is, why are these two constructs, FMCG marketing and brand equity, orthogonal?
Sir, my simple understanding of orthogonal is that they are distinct. Orthogonal is something which is perpendicular, normal statistics, and in orthogonal is something which is distinct. Now, I believe that FMCG and brand equity are orthogonal because the purpose and the time frame for both of them are different, sir. Purpose, the FMCG marketing technique is more of a short-term effort, sir. Where, say, suppose if a brand is doing offer or a promotion, or they are trying to do an advertisement, generally what happens, sir, if I see an offer or a promotion as a consumer, I would pick the product up. Whereas brand equity has a more long-term impact, sir. Brand equity is built over the years. So I believe that why both of them are different, because both of them have different perspective. Although they both are interwoven, although they both work very simultaneously in affecting the consumer behavior, but both of them are different because brand equity is something which is happening in the mind of the consumer, and FMCG marketing techniques are the efforts of a marketer.
Okay. Just last two questions, Sapna, from my side. This Kevin Lane Keller, right? He is one of the founders or kind of influential figure on establishing the concept of brand equity, especially consumer-based brand equity. So, have you come across this idea of consumer-based brand equity in your literature review of brand equity?
Yes, sir. Arcade's model and Keller's model, I have seen CPs, sir.
Right. So what is consumer-based brand equity?
So the consumer-based brand equity is the equity which is basically focusing on the consumer aspect. There are employee brand equity, there are consumer-based brand equity. So CPBE focus mainly on the consumer aspects here.
What does that mean? Focusing on consumer means what? Like what exactly?
Need or how do they purchase? What is going on in their mind, or how a consumer, sir, in simple words, how a consumer place their trust on a brand. How this goes on, a relationship of a brand with the consumer, sir. Focusing solely on the consumer aspect.
Sure. Okay. Fine. Sapna, last question. The knowledge that you have produced, FMCG leading to brand equity, leading to consumer behavior. What is so specific about it that you need to focus in the personal care segment? I mean, why can't we generalize it to normal consumption, right? What are the elements of it that are specific to personal care, and how you predict things will change if we get out of the personal care category? For example, if I go into white goods, washing machine, refrigerators, ACs, will this relationship hold? Will it not hold? What is so specific about this relationship that it is applying only in the personal care segment and not elsewhere?
So when we talk about personal care items, I believe that there are three important aspects in personal care items. The health aspect, because we are using it almost every day. The hygiene aspect and the self-esteem aspect also. So personal care products are products where consumer places a great trust, because there is a daily interaction with those products, as compared to maybe a white good or a washing machine. Here a consumer needs to develop a very strong emotional bond with personal care items. So I believe, sir, that personal care category will have a different parameter, different impact, because the consumer is deeply connected with these products. So something which we are applying on our skin, something which we are consuming daily, has a different aspect of looking at it. Like, sir, the products of Mama or the products of Dove, I think the way we look at their ingredients, the way how they are made, or what's happening in the world with them, we are, as a consumer, more connected to personal care items.
So are you implying that for white goods or for personal automobiles like cars and bikes, FMCG marketing will not have a positive impact on brand equity and will therefore not have a positive impact on consumer behavior? This relationship is specific to personal care. Are you implying that?
May not hold. I think that is something which really needs to be done on a daily basis.
Okay.
But
fine. All right. So no more questions from my side. Thank you, Sapna. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, I request Dr. Karim.
Want me to ask specific questions, madam?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So there were a few questions that I had mentioned in my report. I'll ask a couple of them from you, Sapna. Maybe that will provide more clarity to the other examiner as well. How you have done your research, basically, you have confined your study to a particular geographical area, which is Bangalore. Now, in what way do you think the findings are likely to change if you had included other geographies also in your study? what aspects of the differences in the geographies do you think would have impacted your study?
Ma'am, Bangalore is a metropolitan city where we see a lot of influx of tech savvy consumers. Basically, it's a IT capital. So we see a lot of tech savvy consumers. So I believe when the similar study is done in a different city or altogether, maybe my hometown is Bhopal. So maybe if I do it on a city like Bhopal, where the demography of the population is different, where the purchase intentions of the consumers
So
are
how tech is likely to affect the their buying intentions, on how the consumer behavior is likely to change with technology? You have not taken technology as the variable anywhere?
No, ma'am. I have not taken the
So
technology.
how do you think that the technology will likely to have a role?
Ma'am, I believe the technology will have an impact because we as a consumers, we are getting too much connected with technology. So we are getting a lot of updates from the brand. And ma'am, a simple example, let's take the case of Mama Earth. Now, we believe that Mama Earth is a very natural and a very herbal products kind of a brand. But then recently, a lot of cases have come where certain chemicals were included. So I feel a very subtle effect of technology where we are getting all the information about the brand that may also affect my behavior as a consumer, ma'am.
Okay. Another question to you is, Sapna, do you did you actually come across any previous study where the results reported were different from the results that you have reported in your work? So did you find the results to match with what has been reported by previous studies, or you find any contradiction? And if there is a contradiction, what can be the possible reasons?
Ma'am, not much of contradictions, but in certain areas, like ma'am, tourism spots-based studies, I had seen that income level also had a very major impact on the behavior. In fact, ma'am, in certain categories, there was a study done on the cosmetic brands where the gender also had an impact. These were some minute variations that I did see, ma'am.
Okay. My last question from my side, Sapna, if you were to improve on this, what aspects of your research would you like to improve and how?
Ma'am, first important thing, I would take the current specific factors, as to those factors which are very important for the year 2024. Now, the two very specific areas I want to go further in the study of brand equity is, ma'am, I believe that a brand will be relevant only when it is for the societal values. And there is one very important aspect that we have to take into consideration is the sustainability aspect. And the second most important thing which I feel will change the entire game is the AI experience, ma'am. How AI experience of a consumer will affect the entire ecosystem of brand equity. So these two areas is something which I really want to improve upon and take it into consideration, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. That will be all from my side.
All right. Thank you, sir and ma'am. We are just waiting for the confirmation, and VC sir will be joining soon. So just for a few moments, if you can be with us.
Sure.
Sure.
I told that.
Yes. With your permission, we can Sapna PhD. Yes.
Actually, Dr. Ankur and Professor Garima ma'am is asking regarding whether, with your permission, can we now say Sapna as Dr. Sapna?
Yes, I formally announce that now she may be conferred, the degree, and the needful at the part of the university may be done.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm also okay with the same. Yes.
Thank you very much, both, Dr. Ankur and Professor Garima. It was really an insightful journey, insightful questions that you all asked. And now Sapna ji must be wondering that her journey is starting from today only.
Thank you, Dr. Manish. Yeah.
Yes.
In the meantime, I take this opportunity to congratulate the supervisor, for having guided her. And one suggestion from my side, as I have already stated, that the gaps in the study should be addressed by the scholar in future.
Sure. Thank you very much.
आप कहाँ से हैं सर? अंकुर सर, आप कहाँ से हैं?
I am from IIM Udaipur. Yeah.
Okay,
okay. Yes. You are in FMS Delhi?
Yes,
right?
yes. I'm from FMS Delhi, and
Right.
maybe we can stay in touch and we can do some collaborative work.
Sure. That would be great. Right. Yes.
That is always a motivation to take examinership and to attend the VivA voce, that you get to meet the fellow academicians and people from the same area, and that gives us an opportunity to connect and do some fruitful work in future.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
definitely look forward to that.
Sure. Same here. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good afternoon, madam.
And Dr. Bora from Ahmedabad was also, talking about Dr. Ankur very nicely.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Manish. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Registrar sir, good afternoon. Not audible, sir.
Audible, not audible. Thank you, madam, for attending and conducting the interview. And this is we're waiting for our Vice Chancellor to come and to declare his PhD award. Not audible, actually.
Is it audible here? No.
Not audible.
Is it audible? Me, sir? Is it audible?
हाँ sir. Yeah. Sir की आवाज आ रही है, sir. He is audible. He is very much audible.
Congratulations, sir.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
We have not attended the entire presentation, but some research gap has been told here. So just take care of that. We'll upload the thesis in our website like other research papers.
Man of the UAE award. Stand-up
Perfect.
Dr. University.
Namaskar.
Hello, sir.
Hello, it is very nice to meet you online.
Hello, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Namaskar. I would like you to visit the university also sometime wherever it is feasible. Please come.
Thank you.
Uh,
Sure.
Nice to have joined. Nice to have joined this examination session, and nice to see again Dr. Manish Upadhyay here. Good.
Thank you very much, sir.
So is it all over?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I in front of all of you, I declare Sapna Nibasiya as the Dr. Sapna Nibasiya from today, after having evaluated by you and awarded by VivA University.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And congratulations, Dr. Sapna.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So can
Thank
we
you, madam.
Okay, we leave the meeting now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.